All right, well, let's take a look at how you can lock certain pages of the book. And this, for now, has nothing to do with in-app purchasing. What you can do is just simply limit certain pages based on where people are at reading it. And, you might think, why the heck would I want to do that? Well, maybe it's an adventure book where they have to kind of go through the adventure in a linear manner, so you don't want to let somebody spoil the ending if they haven't gotten there yet. So in that case, what you could do is anytime the reader has successfully finished a quest, puzzle, whatever it is, then prior to turning to the next page, you can unlock the page that they were going to, or vice versa. You could kind of do it at the beginning of when you open a new page. You could then unlock that one. So let's just take a look at how unglamorous this actually looks in a menu. What we've got here it just says pick a page up at the top, and then you can see I've got some muted out buttons or images for pages that are locked up. And if I try to click on them, of course, nothing has happened. It's happening. Their touch events are actually being taken away from them. Okay, now keep in mind that their touch event dictionaries still exist within the element or the property list, but all I've done is I've just made it so that under the hood a Boolean variable called has touch event just equals no, so nothing's going to happen when you click on them. Although if you click on page 1, of course, that would actually do something, but right now I've just got output messages coming out to the window over here. So let's take a look at what is going on. We've got a page 1 button, and then page 2, page 3, page 4, and page 5. And the important thing here, of course, is that they have the name page 4, and that's how we'll reference them in the property list. And they also have a custom class set to element, because if you're going to do anything with an image that's slightly interactive, you're going to need to put in their element. And then we've also got in here an image called unlock pages, again, element. And then just while you're testing this, I figured you would need a relock pages button, because the first time you unlock it, basically what it does is it sets an NS user default that says, hey, everything's unlocked. Okay, and we'll talk about that right now. So over here in our list, here's our computer scene file. And by the way, I did want to give you guys an example of an alternate look for one of your scenes based on or make it be drastically different since it's an iPhone. So in this example, you've got them all lined up like this. The computer screen is taking up the whole space and the whole landscape mode over here, but all of the elements have the exact same names. Okay, page 5, relock pages, unlock pages. So in this manner, you can create a completely different scene file, but the property list can stay the same for both of those files. And if you're going to do something like that, all you have to do is keep the same base name, so computer and then computer, but put in their phone at the end of it, and the kit will know exactly what you're talking about. It'll open that scene file based on it being used for the iPhone. You don't have to do anything else. Okay, so let's fold up the cover. Let's go over here to computer. There's the base name, and let's look at here's our elements. So page 1 through 5, unlock pages and relock pages. But let's look at the events. And what we're doing in here is putting in SetValuesIfNil. So this is going to be run the first time the app is ever opened. Okay, after that this will never get run again, because there will be values for page 2 access, page 3 access, and so on. And you're always going to put a string property in here for setting values. Even if it were a number, set it as a string. Kid will figure out what to do later. And then you're going to put in here locked, or anything you want. Not found. If that makes more sense for your particular app, do that. And this could be not page 2 access. It could be treasure map, right? And you might want to put in there not found. Okay, it's completely up to you what these key and values are. Okay, unless it's something to do with the language, and then put in their language, but that's for a different video. So anyway, so in this case I'm just going with page 2 access, and I've put locked across the board here. Okay, and then what we're doing is we've got an event listener. I've got many event listeners in here. All listeners must be met is set to no. Okay. In fact, I could just go ahead and delete that property, but I guess I'll leave it in there now. And then the first listener I've got is unlock page 2. So what this is going to do is listen for page 2 access. Now keep in mind, that's that same variable right there. And it is listening for it equaling unlocked. Now, keep in mind, first time we run this, that equals locked. So this is not going to be true. But if it was, what would happen? Go to your events, enable touch on page 2, and that's that element, page 2, okay? And then it would be touchable again. So the touch events that I've got inside of here, there's not really any of them of note other than outputting a message to the output window. But there you go. And by the way, by default, all these buttons other than page 1 have an alpha setting of 0.3, so that's why they're semi-transparent when the page first loads up. And then one of the other events is that alpha is going to be set to 1 for page 2. And you might be wondering, why is page 2 over here and alpha not over here? Well, when you're kind of defining the look of your page, you might want to set the alpha of many objects to the same, whatever, 0.3, whatever it is. And in which case, what you could always do is you could change this to an array and then just start listing different, items, and you have them all be affected by the same alpha value. Anyway, all right, so that's what unlock page 2 listens for. Basically just listens for it equaling unlocked. That's obviously not going to be the case. All right, now what happens if, well, in this case, so lock page 2, what it's doing is it's listening for non-equality. That's what that exclamation point and equal signs is, and it's checking to see if page 2 access does not equal unlocked. Which case, what's it going to do? Disable the touch on page 2. And it's going to set the alpha to 0.3. Make sense? So one listens for unlocking, one listens for locking, and same thing happens for each one of these particular buttons over here. So then let's look at the unlock pages now. I was about to say, well, we're done. Unlock pages. Okay, so when you click down on that, what it's going to do is it's going to set the values, and we're just setting them all at once here. So page 2 access is now going to equal unlocked, and so on for all of these. And keep in mind, our listeners are always listening out. So as soon as it detects that page 2 access equals unlocked, then it's going to do what it needs to do for, setting those up. And if you want to see what that looks like, click down on unlock pages, and you'll notice that voila, you can now click down on all of these, and in the output window it would be showing you that you're clicking down on them, so you can see you clicking page 4, all those. And I'm not doing anything other than running those outputs. So and then if you again, for testing purposes, at that point the relock pages button is then shown, and you can find that. Okay, so under touch event for unlock pages, hide. If it's a touch event and you just don't leave anything, you don't put anything over here, that means that this event is going to occur on itself. So unlock pages is going to get hidden, and we're going to show relock pages. And then at that point, relock pages is shown, and its touch event is what? Set values, page 2 access locked, and you can actually start and stop listeners. So what happened previously when we unlocked our pages is the listener was completed and it just stopped listening at that point. It wasn't being set to rerun over and over again. So so this particular button just starts listening for locked pages once again, and when that happens, it ends up relocking all the pages. And there's a little output that just says we'll lock the buttons again next time you open this up. So and then again it's hiding itself, and initially it was hidden over here. So in real world examples, you would never put in here relock pages anyway. You would just you probably wouldn't actually have an unlock pages either. What you would do is, again, as I was saying in the beginning of the video, when you get to a new page that you're going to allow to be unlocked, you would just put in here, you could take your set values, move them to your events over here, and for whatever page you just landed on, for example, if it was a page 2 or whatever, then you'd put in there unlocked. Okay, and that would make it so that if someone were out of menu, that would be unlocked. And that is it for the computer page. See you guys next video.